Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by my heterosexual life partner, party boy Pete McCormick, the one and only stunning Steve Cabot, and dangerous Diana Spencer. Party boy Pete, how are you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling pretty good, Mathalo. How about yourself?
If I'm doing any better, it'd have to lock me up. Dangerous Diana, how are you?
I'm good. Your hair looks great.
As always, very nice. Stunning Steve, tell me what it is, my man.
He feels like a Sarcone roll in the 500-degree oven in a 100-year-old oven on 9th Street.
Well, at least you're delicious.
Hell yeah.
So this is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. You can find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please feel free to email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
Working perspectives. Yeah, it's our objective to be effective. My voice in society's working perspectives. We're exploring your workday and how you get paid. Launching new episodes every Tuesday. Your day to transform while we inform. With episodes available on all podcast platforms. Check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid like, share, and subscribe. Working Perspectives.
All right. So last week we aired a show that broke us into a new demographic. We aired the Mr. Bowers episode. Fantastic stuff. As for those who didn't listen, he's a master craftsman, master carpenter. One of my best friend's dad. Had a really, really good show. Really good stuff. Pete, what'd you think about it, babe? Talk me through it.
I liked it. I like when we get into any kind of the trades, and especially when someone comes up through what I consider the trades through a non-trade path.
Yeah.
I think especially for our demographic, millennials, we were always told, hey, you got to go to school, you got to go to college, you got to do this. But there are definitely other ways to come up and make a living in great ways, and obviously he's made a great living. So it was good to touch on that.
Yeah. The stuff that they had with, like, when he got into the car accident, making the grandfather clock for his family, like coming back from work after 7 months, after like rehab, after learning to walk again, like all that stuff. Really, really, like, we really did, like, I know our mantra is ice cream, but we really did hit with a bunch of flavors of ice cream last week, because we got, like, you got some, tickling, plucking the heartstrings. And obviously, Pete, you were bringing in the one-liners like a motherfucker, had some funny stories, but then also like you're learning stuff too. Diana, what were your thoughts? How'd you like it?
I love trades. I think there's like such a craft to trades that our generation doesn't know about, and that people like that really, really get into. Like, my grandfather was kind of this, like, he needed a chair, he built chairs. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the way they did things. So I have a lot of appreciation for people like that. So, that's like super impressive to me.
And it's one of those things too where we don't appreciate it enough, and we should, because like at the end of the day, like, it's all on YouTube. Like, I do have like some cousins and friends where like they learned how to they bought a beat down house and rebuilt it just from going on YouTube. So all the knowledge is there for us to use. We just we don't use it.
We don't have the tools. Yeah. Speaking of people with a trade, Steve, what'd you think, buddy? How'd you like the episode?
So I got a real unique perspective from you two, Stu Nods and Double D, that so anybody that's a master in anything, I absolutely shut the fuck up for once and pay attention, because in anything, you put your 20,000 hours in, whatever it is, and you're a master at it, then I need to shut the fuck up, because I'm going to learn something.
Agreed.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is the trades, not for most people. So some of these kids, go to college, because you're not built for this life. It is not an easy life.
Yeah.
Not an easy life.
I just think we could use more exposure to it. I think a lot of people.
I agree.
Because I think you have to make the decision at such a young age, right? Like, if you want to get into the trades, you have to you do trade school in high school. So if you haven't made that decision by 9th or 10th grade, a lot of people miss out on it.
Yeah.
And in this terrible fucking climate of the world, they used to judge you on it. Like I went to tech school from 9th grade to 10th grade. So people were like, you only do that because you're stupid.
Yeah.
No, bitch. I do it because I need to learn some real shit. You're in here learning about fucking Christopher Columbus and fucking who knows what. How to, I don't need algebra, bitch. I'm not going to become a goddamn engineer.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right, Steve. There was that stigma with like the tech school,
I just went with the bad instead of stupid. I just went with he's a bad kid, so he gets in trouble a lot. That's why he goes to tech. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll take that.
Yeah. There's also that stigma as well. Yeah, the bad boy. But no,
we don't get any of it in regular school. That's the thing. Like at Catholic, I went to Hallahan. It's Catholic school. There's they didn't teach me shit as far as like life skill. Yeah. You know what I mean? And none of it. Absolutely none of it.
They taught you how to jump in the fountain when you graduate.
Yeah, I had one economics class.
That's about it.
I learned nothing from it. I learned nothing about. He barely spoke English, and he would pull out it. He was also a realtor, so he was doing a lot of work at school.
Oh, I see.
So he was like barely there, but every once in a while, he had this thick ass accent. He would pull out his wallet and pull out a credit card and just say, "See this? Don't get it," and just put it down, and that was it. That was our economics.
Wait.
Sound advice.
So not. That is something to be learned.
To a class of all girls. Sound advice.
It doesn't explain any of it. Didn't explain how credit works. Like nothing. Just pulls out a credit card. This is bad news. Don't do it. Don't get any of these.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Get your husbands or your boyfriends. Don't use your.
Well, that's sexist.
I used to fuck with that guy a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucked with him. I didn't fuck
him. Whoa. My bad.
Words matter. Words matter.
I used to steal his keys and set off his car alarm, and he'd be like looking for his keys and turn it off, turn it back on, shit like that. And that's what because he wasn't paying attention.
Diane, if you want the ultimate story about fucking with your teachers, one time our wrestling coaches had annoyed us. So we filled their cars with trash, and it had been snowing, and then we covered the entire car. Well, after we saran wrapped it and then covered it with snow. So we may have taken things a little too far. Sorry about that, Jets.
Not just saran wrap, but Frankie Schoendorfer's dad owns an industrial sticker paper company, and that shit was so hard to get the fuck off.
Oh my
Good thing
god!
This truck was a piece of shit. Fuck you, Chef.
That's wild.
Jesus. Damn. All right. Well, very cool. Hold on. So you touched on something with the water fountain, Steve. What's that, Diana?
So every year at the end of the year, so like Hallahan is for sure just like a sisterhood. The alumni is crazy. It's like they just closed, and it's like shocking. And everyone's pretty pissed about it. It's been around, I think, since the 1920s.
Oh wow!
First all Catholic girls' school in the country. There's a lot of history behind it, but there's alumni. Everywhere I went, if I was wearing something Hallahan, like on vacation, I ran into somebody. I always ran into a Hallahan alumni. So it's like kind of a big deal that it's closing and they're selling out for real estate. Like all the times they hit alumni up for money, it was never all of a sudden where we hear nothing and then we hear that they're shutting it down. But anyway, so at the end of the year, it's like being a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior was like clearly defined because you wore a different color, like your patch and your the part of your uniform is a different color for every year that you're there. Okay. So you're green for freshmen, blue for sophomores. So at the end of the year, you're switching colors basically, right? You're graduating. It's the last day of school. And we all, because it's a block away, ran into the fountain and we jumped in it. So there's probably like 200 chicks, 200 teenage chicks in blue and Catholic school uniforms dunking themselves in this disgusting fucking fountain.
That fountain
downtown
was what?
On
that
19th Street.
What? Ekins Oval? Is that because it's on JFK, right?
It's right across from the church. No, it's 19th and Vine.
Yeah. Right by the ballista.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right in front of it.
Yep.
So they cleaned it for us, which was cool. They cleaned
My mom went to Hallahan.
We were going to do it. We were going to do it.
Wait, so you guys were just like, hey, this great Catholic school education, these nice uniforms. Let's just go take a bath in some bum piss. And
exactly.
Like,
but it's been a tradition forever. It's been a tradition forever.
My mom went to Hallahan and did it. Like, I mean, my grandmother went to Hallahan and did it. Like, it's fucking.
If the city's cleaning the fountain for them,
us,
okay.
It's the one day a year they clean it.
Yeah. Damn, that's messed up. All right, well, cool. I will say this. Eventually, we do have in the next coming weeks, we do have someone on the show who's an alumni of an all boys school, and they kind of did touch to there is that like that harmony and everything with like
tight.
you know, it's like the same sex kind of schools where it's like he said he's like he never gave the middle finger so much in his life, like you know what I mean, like the boys school is probably a lot of fucking around, but I can only imagine that the girls school is probably like you guys were probably going ape shit with some stuff.
It was just as bad, and none of us cared because there was no boys, so you're like kind of you get to be yourself because you're not worried about boys being there, you know what I mean?
Sounds terrible. Now again, everyone knows this, I'm an asshole. And this is just me with my asshole thoughts.
You've never mentioned it.
Was there some lesbian shit going on in there? Because I have to. This is what I believe.
Oh my God, a ton. Yeah. Well, it was, you knew who these girls were, right? They were very open.
Yeah.
They were very open about, dude, there was one with my name. So there was this chick, she was a year older than me. Her name was Diana Spencer. And I've never in my life met another Diana, let alone someone with my full fucking name.
Diana, hold on. Do you want to start the story over without saying her name?
Well, it's relevant that we have the same name.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't say
I haven't. She got kicked out. I haven't seen that chick since I was 15.
All right, go ahead. No worries. if you're cool with it, then let's go.
Let's go.
So whatever. This chick has the same name as me, and around Valentine's Day, we would do Valentines. Right? There's like lollipops. You could buy them, and you can send them to the brother schools, or just send them throughout the school. Yeah. So the brother schools, the boys schools would send them to us. We'd send them out, and then we'd send them to each other to eat. Our friends, in school.
Send them to myself.
Yeah. This one year I get.
Look at how many.
This one year I get one and I'm reading it and I'm like, is this a joke? And it's like sexual. It's like very fucking weird. You know what I mean? And I'm asking my friends and like accidentally showing all of my friends, you know what I mean? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this?
Yeah.
And then I'm at my locker and she came up to me. She goes, I think you have something that's mine. And I was like, okay. But she got kicked out for doing nasty shit in the basement with another chick.
So hold on.
Kicked out.
She sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, let's try and get her on the show.
I love her. Was she hot?
No.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to ask. So, do you think some of this lesbian stuff was like it's kind of like a prison scenario where it's like you just don't have better options? When Orange is the New Black came out, every single one of my classmates was on Facebook and on social media going like, dude, we'd not only survive, we would thrive in prison. This is exactly like high school. It was literally the same shit. And there was some crazy shit going down in my high school. You know what I mean? Still city kids, It wasn't like, just because it was Catholic school doesn't mean, we didn't have metal detectors, but we probably should have. There was still shit happening sometimes. Sometimes it was normal. Sometimes it wasn't, but
metal detectors, not for weapons, for toys, right?
For weapons.
For battery operated weapons.
Yeah.
They're one and the same,
Someone had a weapon and told me about it. And I'm like, I remember I had one of my friends going, you got to tell somebody. I was like, and be the snitch? I don't fucking think so. This chick's walking into school with this shit. I'm not the one opening my mouth about it. Hell no.
Christ. Damn.
Well, I'm after the lesbian thing, I'm completely shot. Don't ask me any more questions. I'm fucking fried. Yep. I can't get my mind out of the gutter.
No one
He's
can.
all over the place.
Steve with a good time.
I gotta go there.
It's not porn lesbian. It's not nice.
Don't shit on my
like Rosie O'Donnell lesbian.
Yeah, it's not, it's prison.
It's like Rosie O'Donnell and Marla Hooch.
Yeah. I don't consider
a lot of prison
lesbians.
Stuff.
To our audience members, these are not actual scientific terms to be used in any way.
They do not reflect the thoughts or anything of the show.
This does not properly reflect any kind of sociology experiments or anything that is being taught.
Yep. So, so we were talking about next week's episode with Edi Rapo. So, like I said, we have Edi Rapo coming up next Tuesday. Every Tuesday, new episodes on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. But I want to move it on to something that was hitting pretty hard in the streets. Let's talk about a little recommendation. So, Diana, I'm almost scared to ask, but what recommendations do you have for the weekend?
I am actually going to be kind of taking it easy this weekend. So it's supposed to rain, so I can't do anything outside.
Yep.
Which is probably better. I need to chill a little.
Sure.
But I'm probably honestly just I'm going to work from home during the day. And then I'm going to Grams on Saturday night. I'm going to get a little shit house. One of my good friends' birthdays yesterday. So we're going to link together and be a little trouble.
Clown and get weird at Graham's Pub. Where else would you do it?
Yep.
Nice. All right, cool. So, Graham's Pub in Roxborough, land of the free, home of the brave. Big fans of Graham's Pub on this show. Talk about it a lot. Really great place. Yeah. Shout out Graham's Pub. All right, Party Boy Pete, what do you got for a recommendation?
You know, Matty boy, I'm a little upset. I got stood up this weekend. You know, I went out to the pop-up beer garden at Jamestown in Maine. Huge fan of the show. Maybe the #1 fan of the show. David Witt came out to meet me.
#1, most loyal, #1 fan of the Working Perspectives, community.
I had communication with Steve Steuban's Cabot, throughout the weekend. We're meeting up at 3, and then on Monday I get, sorry I didn't meet you. I was out of town. I was blah, blah, blah.
So a big fat lie is what you're saying, Pete. Yeah.
But what I am saying is the beer garden's nice. You can actually, at the table, they have QR codes, not just look at the menu, but the order. So you can get in, don't have to talk to anybody, order your beer that way. They bring it to the table, or you can old-fashioned go up to the bar. And there was nobody there. So it's a nice little setup, nice beers. They have everything from double IPAs to highlight the champagne of beers. And the food looked pretty tasty too. But this weekend with the rain, I'm actually going to be studying. We canceled one barbecue. We have one that we're just going to do inside. And then we joined a swim club, which opens up this weekend. So hopefully Sunday or Monday, we'll get some time at the pool.
But
that's what I got. Flower Town Country Club. Flower Town Country Club.
Nice.
All right. Man, look at you, Pete. I'll tell you, people don't know this. Pete is really he's pretty much like an angel on the diving board. He just floats through the air. I've seen it. Pete can do
whenever
double.
He's ready, I will murk you. Cuz.
Right. Okay.
Double gainers. Come on, cuz.
Okay, baby. Yeah, but look at you. And if you look at Pete, you wouldn't think that he's an angelic, kind of floating.
It sounds like
yeah.
We need to be taken to the Flower Town Country Club and get a video of Steve and Pete doing a dive competition.
Seems like another challenge.
Sup with it.
All right. Well, I guess we know what we're doing for next week. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Live from the Flower Town Country Club. We're gonna do a little, I guess, dive off. There you go. Nice. All right, cool. All right, perfect. So well, like I was saying, Pete can dive on a diving board really well. So that's all I wanted to say. But either way, Stu Baines, what do you got for this weekend besides some X-rated fun stuff on your computer?
You know what? Fuck this show. Fuck Pete. Fuck you. Diana, you're cool, but fuck you guys, all right?
Listen, wow. Real nice.
You already know how much there might be no other human on this planet I love more than David fucking Witt.
Loves him.
Well, he doesn't know that, Steve. He doesn't know that.
Wow.
Well, he doesn't need to know that. He doesn't need to know that. It's just he trust me, he knows that. But
I fucking love Witt.
Did I skip out on Pete to go on a boat and watch some hot chicks jump off cliffs in bikinis and shit? I did. Did I fucking break my finger? I did.
Yeah,
Should I have gone and seen Dave Witt? I should have. And I just want to let you guys know it's been fun. And between going way up here with the fucking lesbianic shit,
right,
and now going way down here because I disappointed my favorite human ever.
Sure.
He's gonna go jump in the dumpster. He's done. It's over.
He's done. All right.
Fuck this weekend.
Wow. Real nice.
Dave, real quick, I want to show you my skills on the diving board because I know you guys all remember playing dodgeball with me. I couldn't throw, so I'm going to do a little screen share. Matt, can you enable the screen sharing?
Do you guys?
Can I?
Do you guys remember? You remember when we would go into the pool room to have some workouts? How the fucking diving coaches used to try to recruit me because there was a guy who was a diver and state champ at North Penn, Steve Bonner. His sister was like your guys' age. I think she was the same grade as you. But her older brother was real good friends with my brother and used to teach me all this shit. So when I say nasty with the fucking gainers and shit and double fronts, the whole nine. Oh boy!
Do you see how far I threw that child?
Hell yeah, Pete. Question: did the kid come down yet?
He did, and he landed on his back, so I kind of got in trouble for that one.
Yeah. I think I remember that. Yeah.
I cannot throw a baseball, but I can throw a child like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I bet you can.
One of the best child throwers.
When you're babysitting for Matt.
Yeah.
No one ever goes near my child ever. No. All right. Nice. Okay.
I just noticed you got that joint behind you with the working perspectives thing, and all I could think of is the guy that just got in trouble with the senator that was driving and tried to put the green screen behind him where you could see his seatbelt was clearly on, and they were talking about driving distracted. You didn't
I did see that, Steve.
No.
It is, the guy has a green screen, but you could see him looking like which way he's turning, and he has a seatbelt clearly on him. They had to like yell at it was fantastic.
Oh wow.
Like,
I didn't know that. I did see there was one video I did see where it was like there was like an actor audition and the dude was like making fun of the guy's apartment and he like the microphone was on and the kid heard it and he was like embarrassed. It was some English dude. Whatever. There
was another guy. So there was a court case and all the court cases have been over Zoom. So one of the lawyers, this went pretty viral. One of the lawyers accidentally turned on a filter that turned him into a cat.
Yeah.
And he's going to the judge, Your Honor, I am not a cat. I am a lawyer.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I can't turn on the green screen. My secretary's son tried to help me. I was dying.
Funny.
That's the best. That's the best. I wonder how
the other guy did the same.
With that.
The other guy signed in the same thing. He signed in, but his like the call title for his Zoom was like buttfucker 362, and the judge was like, and it's the quote under it was never go into a court case or a court Zoom meeting on your buddy's computer because he didn't know what his buddy's thing was. Yeah. So he gets in, and the judge is like, "Sir, who are you?" And the kid's like, Steve Cavett. And he goes, "You sure you're not buttfucker 330? Because that's what your thing says." He was like, "What kind of moron signs into court like that?"
You know what that reminds me of, Steve? When I back when I was in school, when colleges were recruiting me, they'd ask for your email, and I was all on Hotmail, and my name on Hotmail was Super Duper Beast 1985 at hotmail.com.
Oh my god.
Like I'm talking to like a coach from Duke, and I'm like, well, this is like Duke University here. He goes Super Duper Beast.
I do remember. So, okay. So do we remember? All right. So let's go around. I've done this on an episode before, but Diana, what was your AOL Instant Messenger screen name? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was. So I was a little hood rat and I was obsessed with Pharrell Williams.
Sure.
You know who that is?
Of course.
Well,
so it was XO Pharrell OX at AOL.com.
Oh my God.
Yep. Loved them.
Okay. So Pharrell Williams. All righty. Well, if you're listening, Pharrell, you have a fan. Nice. Still a fan?
Shoot your shot, cuz.
Yeah, I mean, Black Don't Crack, he looks exactly the same. He's still hot.
Right.
Shoot your shot, cuz.
All right. Party Boy Pete, I think I know this, but what was your AOL Instant Messenger screen name?
It was Ski 91, SKEY 91, and it's completely nonsensical. It means nothing. It was just
Yep. Nice. And then Steve, what was yours?
Why are you laughing before you say that?
Just wondering.
He's a wild boy, but nah, I stuck with my nickname from my neighborhood. So my shit, I think, was just Steubens bangs your girl or something. I don't know. I forget. Either way.
I have a question. Speaking of go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because I'm going to go off topic. Finish what you're saying.
Either way, I still have the same email as I did in, I don't know, 1998, 97, whatever. So I have wrestling parents all the time and like ADs from the high school and teachers that want to email me. And they're like, what the fuck is Schwap game? I'm like, just send the fucking email. Just send the fucking email. I don't need to explain it.
I've always wondered that too, because I send you the meeting links every week. I'm like, what? I never
ADs. Now I'm talking to a fucking athletic director of a large, very prominent high school, and I'm like, well, see, in my neighborhood, like if you were like you did something well, you're like, damn, you just swapped that. Like it was kind of like one of our words. And what am I fucking doing? I'm like, never mind, buddy. Just send the fucking email.
Yeah. Is this what brought us Shwetty Wop or whatever it was?
Schwap game. Fucking love it. All right, Diana, what were you gonna say?
So I was gonna ask Steve. So like, I don't know where neighborhood nicknames, right?
Yeah.
There's several kids that I grew up with that actually have the same nicknames, which is weird, but are fucking ridiculous. And then as I got older, I've realized that people older than me also know people with these same nicknames that are totally different from these kids. So I have to ask, do you know, can you name, like, what is the most common Roxborough nickname that you can think of?
Am I allowed to answer?
Yeah. Jump on in there, buddy.
I was gonna say Bean, maybe.
I know a lot of beans, but poop.
Well, here's the thing.
What is it?
Poop. You know how many dudes I know called Poop, and then how many chicks they were called Little Shit?
Really?
What? I used to
Well, I've
know
been here for 3 years. I did not know this at all.
Yeah, I know several Poops just from my age, and then my cousins know at least 2 or 3 Poops on top of that.
Wow. So
yeah.
Poop.
Isn't that weird? Poop is like a super common nickname in Roxborough.
The prominent nickname in Roxborough is Poop.
How do you end up with that
Little
nickname?
Shit. I mean,
ironically, I happen to be a double nickname. I was Steubens, and there was another kid in our neighborhood who was younger, and he had to go by Young Steubens.
Yeah.
And then
he was Peanut in our neighborhood.
And then
Peanut.
Yeah.
Ironically, our best looking kid in our neighborhood, who we used to just literally take around as a fucking, might as well have been a trophy, and chicks would just flock to him, and then we would scoop up the collateral damage from him. His nickname was Shitter. So it was a little weird when these chicks see this extremely handsome feller, and then we're like, yo, shitty dick. And he's like, they're like, why is your nickname? Why are they calling? We're like, no, it's not. Never mind.
Yeah.
You can't let him. He has the looks. You can't have him let him the cool nickname as well. You got to bring him down. He got
shitty dick.
Bring him back down to earth.
Were you talking about J. Romeo, Steve? Is that Shitter?
No, fuck no. He got RoboCop because he was the most built human on earth. He was RoboCop. But Shitter was Todd Shots.
Toad.
He was pretty.
Yeah, Toad.
Yep. Chicks love Todd.
Fuck yeah.
Loved Todd. Everywhere we went, girls would come up to me and they're like, who is your friend? I'm like, bitch, you ask me that again. Never mind. Todd, this bitch wants to talk to you.
Shitter. I should have known that.
I'm like,
on the team.
I'm like, you got any friends? She's like, you got any other friends as hot as Todd? I'm like, well, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. Nice. Yo, speaking of the Romeos.
No, bitch, no. All right.
Romeo.
Todd plays soccer. I smash my head into other dudes.
Yeah, repeatedly. Yeah, but Tommy Romeo, speaking of Romeos, Tommy Romeo is going to be on the show in a couple weeks. So there you go. For all you listeners.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
his shit's real interesting because he sells life insurance. That shit's wild.
Yeah. Anyone who knows anybody nicknamed Poops or Little Shit, just send it to us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and then we'll spread the word, see how many we can get. All right. So let's keep it moving. So
summoning all poops.
Yes. yeah. So all right, Party Boy Pete, let's go with a topic. So you sent it to me earlier this week. So what do we got? What happened?
So we like to talk about MMA. We're MMA fans, and a local guy, Paul Felder, who
Irish Dragon.
The Irish Dragon at
Philly's
one
finest.
point was definitely a top 10 fighter. I think he was a top 5 fighter.
Yeah.
Sadly retiring.
100%.
But he's also one of the best commentators. So that's the good thing is he's retiring, but we're still going to hear him, and he's good.
Yeah.
But this Twitter exchange was highlighted from last year, where a guy, John Take Your Care Fury, tweeted at him, "Stay retired, Paul. You're a better commentator than fighter." And Paul Felder responded, "Does it make you feel good saying that? Now, would you say that to me face to face, man to man?" And he goes, "Nope, you'd kick my ass. That's why I said it on Twitter." And Paul ended with, "Fair enough."
Hell yeah.
Great. Nice. All right. Well, shout out to Paul Felder. Really, really good dude. I was actually, me and him, I sat next to him at Jordan Steiner's wedding. And we were there, and one of the husbands of one of the other wives, one of the ladies that was there, her husband, she came up to me. She's like, "Matt, do you think you can introduce my husband to Paul? Like, he's too nervous." And he was like a big fan of Paul's. And I was like, "Yeah, I guess."
Well, her husband's gay.
Well, I was like, I really don't know. He's a nice guy, but I was like,
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
Yeah. I was like, I really don't know Paul that well enough, but here, So I introduced him, and Paul was like, talked to him for like 25 minutes, like the nicest guy, really, really good dude. So shout out. Good dude. All right.
Yeah, we have. I've never met him personally, but we have some mutual friends, and I've heard because he was a guy in high school that wasn't really a sports guy, but he was in the theater. He was a thespian, and then he ends up getting in the fighting later on, and is just like a monster.
I didn't.
So I got a story. Yeah, he was a big thespian. But
so I hate that word. Why that word? Why is that the word that was chosen for that?
It was named after these girls from this all-female high school that used to hang out in the basement. And
did lots of lesbian shit. Yeah, lots of lesbian shit.
Yeah. They called them thespians. All right,
Pete. So here's a good story, real quick. So Pete, when you were a long time ago, even though you're a young feller, when you were happening to bounce at an establishment that's connected to the baseball stadium where I get a little wild sometimes. Back in the day, long time ago, Pete was bouncing the one day, and there happened to be a very attractive and voluptuous lady that was the beer tub broad.
You say that word again?
Voluptuous. I kind of it's okay. He's all right.
We knew what you were saying. We've all stumbled over the beer tub lady. All right.
Listen, I've had a lot of shots to the face. Leave me alone. Anyway, we this girl, I might or might not have called her the beer broad, which wasn't a good start. Whatever. We keep it moving. I'm trying to hit on her. I'm clearly annihilated. She's clearly sober. She's giggling like I'm a fucking moron because I am a fucking moron. Right. I'm over there trying. Then she says, I have a boyfriend. And I don't know what. Somehow wrestling came up. I probably hit her with the old, well, the other guys that play sports like basketball and football, they play with their balls and all that gay shit. I'm like, wrestlers happen to have great hips. So great hips in turn mean great. And she's like, huh? I was like, I could bang you really good. Never mind. So I try to move on. She says to me, well, she said that, she goes, that's cute. Well, here's the thing. My boyfriend fights. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck your boyfriend. And she's like, I don't know if you know him. His name's Paul Felder.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. And the girl, I think, went to North Penn. I forget. She was like a little bit.
She did go to North Penn. I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember the story.
Oh God, she was a dime. And I'm like, Paul Felder. And at that point, he didn't really have a name. I'm like, fuck Paul Felder. How's that sound? Tell Paul fuck himself. 2 years later, I see him slicing people's faces apart in the UFC, and I'm like, holy fuck. Yeah. Holy fuck. Thank God she didn't call him.
I remember he won a fight with a busted lung, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Oh, he's a savage.
Isn't that hilarious that just instead of taking it as is what it is, you're like, fuck him, fuck your boyfriend.
Now this is where I got the asshole moniker from. Things like that. Instead of going, oh, that's cool, no problem.
No, I do the same exact thing.
Well, Diane, you have to realize when guys are in high school up until a certain age, we had the mantra of just because there's a goalie doesn't mean he can't score.
Right.
But I do the same. I have the same attitude though. When I first started bartending at Graham's, one of the bartenders we work with, her brother was in there acting a fool, but I didn't know it was her brother. So I'm starting to get into a fight with him, and he's hammered and he's being a dick, right? So we're yelling at each other, and he's like, I'm gonna call my sister. And my first thought was like, oh, you're 40 years old, you're gonna go fucking call your sister to come fight me? You know what I mean? That's where I thought he was going with it. Because I didn't know what the hell he meant by that.
Yeah.
So here I am, fuck your sister, fuck your mom, fuck your cousin. I'm like,
hell yeah.
The next morning I called her. I'm like, dude, I am so sorry. I didn't know it was your brother. She's like, no, fuck him. He shouldn't be acting like that anyway.
Now listen, did my father used to always preach to me in wrestling or any sport and anything in life, he who hesitates always loses? He did. But did I flip that into that meant I had to go full asshole, full aggression all the time?
Oh,
probably. Oh yeah, damn it, we'll cut that shit.
Yeah, definitely have to cut that.
Wow, right. I hate this fucking world. I hate this.
I hate it too. That's Pete or Steve. That's the third time you've quit the podcast this show. All right.
Rough day. All right. It's a fucking rough day. God damn it.
All right. So, okay.
Sweating and shit.
Let's keep it moving. Let's get to the end here. So we're coming to the top of time. So before we go, Dangerous Diana, anything you want to say to the peeps before we take off to have a good weekend?
Nah, everyone have a good weekend and enjoy it. I don't know. No.
Very cool. All right. Party Boy Pete, anything you want to say to the peeps before we get out of here?
Yeah, just let's since we brought it up, let's support our local trade schools. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it going. You know, they have some classes in community colleges. There's other ways, but just if you know it's around there, give it some support. Give it some love.
What did we support on Tuesday?
PSAC, the Pennsylvania, the small colleges, the state schools that are cheaper. If you like community college, you like state schools, you like trade schools. You know, anything that has a low barrier to entry to get people working. That's what we're about.
Nice. All right. Stu Baines, anything you want to say to the dozens and dozens of Working Perspectives podcast fans?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you all for listening to me, and I will never talk on this fucking thing again.
Oh, stop it.
Also,
you know we love you, buddy.
Quit being a baby.
Also, shoot your shot, fellas, because you're only guaranteed to miss the ones you don't shoot.
Yeah.
So
That's
let them
song,
rip.
Isn't it?
Let them rip.
I got a man. What's that man got to do with me?
What?
You
never
what
heard
the
that
hell?
song?
Yeah, it's salt and pepper. Yeah, it's salt and pepper. What are we talking about?
That's not salt and pepper. Is it Color Me Bad? I can find it.
Oh, you're talking about no, it's
You're thinking of What a Man.
I got a man.
I ain't trying to hear
What's
that.
Your man? Yeah. What's your man got to do with me?
I ain't trying to hear that. See,
that sounds great.
All right. Well,
it's
there
a little
you go.
aged out.
It's all right. We're plenty aged out on this show. All right. Nice. So,
he the most aged out.
Yeah, we all aged out.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. He's got to deal with work now. Here we fucking go. He's going. Jesus Christ.
Later,
this
Steve.
guy.
I'm gonna end it anyway, so see you. All right, so this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. Weekend Poppin'.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Your fucking audio's still on.
Oh fuck! Hold on. No. Hold on, buddy. Yeah, I got you. How do I turn this fucking
a peek
thing
behind the curtains of the Working Perspective podcast as they work. Hot mic.
The customer service. Hey, how you doing?
Fucking Steve. Oh, I love him. All right. So, God, that was too funny. All right. So this has been okay. So this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Party Boy Pete McCormick, Dangerous Diana Spencer, and Stunning Steve Cabot. You can find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please feel free to email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. All right, it's the end of the show. Have a great weekend. See ya.